Okay, so today we added the fire alarm system to the Pelican building automation system. The way we did that was we used a Pelican TA1, which can be put on the same data trunk underneath a PM5. So you have this power control module, which is a bank of relays that is controlled by the system. It's a bank of relays that has an antenna, basically. So the antenna puts it on the network, the Pelican network, and you can schedule the outputs. You can also put a TA1 underneath it and pull in either a temperature or an alarm. I think in this case, underneath a PM5, I think it's mostly just for alarm status. So to get the fire alarm on the Pelican system, we used a TA1 underneath a PM5. You can also put a TA1 underneath a thermostat. So that's another way to do it. Here is the VFD. Inside the VFD, we have a relay from the high static cutout, right? So here's your high static cutout. And when this triggers, like if the duct static is too high, this relay will break the contact. So here's the contact, right? So this is actually 120 volts. The 120 volts originates on this transformer. So you take like, I think this might be like 480 on the high side of the transformer, and then coming out the low side of the transformer you have 120. So you got the neutral and you've got the 120. So the 120 hot comes down here and it comes down to terminal number 2. And here you can see the firewire. Firewire is usually red. So you have this red 2 conductor, and here's the 120 coming out going to the fire system. There's like a relay, dry contact on that fire system, and then the black of that 2 conductor is the 120 coming back from the fire system. So the fire system has the ability to break 120 that goes to the VFD in order to shut the fan down in the case of a fire. So what I did was I piggybacked on that 120. So you've got the 120 coming back from the fire system on this black wire, and I added my own black wire to go up to this set of relays. One relay does the outside air damper and outside air fan shutdown. The other relay does the fire alarm, where we tie it into the TA1 so that there's an alarm notification on the building automation system. So that one goes back to the TA1, but this one here, the outside air damper and outside air fan shutdown, that wire comes over and breaks the circuit for the outside air damper. So the outside air damper, this is pretty interesting. You've got 24 volt signal that goes to the motor there, and then as the damper opens, as it gets farther and farther open, I think maybe like 80% open, it's actually selectable here. So whatever that says, I don't know if it's 80 or whatever. But here's your percentage open. And when it hits that percentage open, which is adjustable, you can see here you've got some dry contacts built in. So between S1 and S3 is normally open. So I think those are the contacts we use. So let's say you've got 24 volts sitting on S1 waiting, and then the outside air fan start-stop would be on S3. So there's the relay for the outside air fan coming over here to the fan. So the 24 volts, as soon as this damper opens to say 80%, then the fan is allowed to run, or the fan is energized by the S3 terminal. So now that we have the relay tied in with the fire system, that relay breaks the signal to the motor, and the damper will shut, and as the damper shuts, it breaks signal to the fan. So in the event of a fire, you have the VFD will shut down, so the main air handler fan will not run anymore, and also the outside air fan and outside air damper will shut. That way you starve the fire as much as you can. And then also you get the fire alarm. It'll create an orange banner, an orange alarm indication in the Pelican interface.